What do you picture when you hear the word intelligent? Do you imagine someone in a lab coat solving complex equations on a chalkboard? Or perhaps a chess grandmaster thinking 10 moves ahead of their opponent? While those are certainly forms of intelligence, psychology tells us that true, high intelligence is often much quieter. It shows up not in grand gestures, but in the small, everyday habits and ways of thinking that most people completely overlook. In this video, we are going to pull back the curtain on 10 of these subtle but powerful differences. You might be surprised to discover how many of these traits you already possess, and by the end, you'll have a completely new understanding of what it truly means to be smart. This isn't about IQ scores or university degrees. It's about the operating system running in the background of the mind, and it's about a deep-seated curiosity and a unique way of interacting with the world. Highly intelligent people don't necessarily have all the answers, but they are masters at asking the right questions, and they approach life not as a test to be passed, but as a puzzle to be explored. So, get ready to look beyond the stereotypes. We're about to explore the habits that separate the truly brilliant from the merely knowledgeable, and the first one might challenge what you believe about being social. Number 1. They actively seek solitude. In a world that often celebrates extroversion and constant connection, highly intelligent people are frequently and deliberately alone. They don't fear solitude. They crave it as a necessary tool for thinking and recharging. This isn't about being antisocial or shy. It's about recognizing that deep thought, creative breakthroughs, and self-reflection cannot happen in a noisy, crowded environment, and their inner world is as rich and engaging as the outer world. While others might feel bored or lonely when by themselves, an intelligent person finds peace. They use this time to process information, connect disparate ideas, and simply be with their own thoughts without interruption. It's during these quiet moments that they solve the problems that have been nagging at them, they have their most creative ideas, and they gain the clarity needed to navigate their lives effectively. Think of it like a library for the mind. You can't read a complex book at a loud rock concert, and similarly, you can't piece together complex thoughts with constant distractions. This deliberate choice to be alone is a hallmark of a mind that is comfortable with itself, a mind that is self-sufficient for stimulation, and a mind that values depth over constant shallow interaction. It's a sign that they are not running from others, but are instead running towards a deeper understanding of themselves and the world. It's a practice of mental hygiene, and it's something they do differently. Number 2, they are highly adaptable. Psychology has long shown that intelligence isn't about how much you know, but about how well you can adapt to new and changing situations. It's about mental flexibility. Highly intelligent people do not rigidly cling to one plan or one way of doing things. They understand that life is unpredictable, and they are masters at pivoting when things don't go as expected. Instead of getting frustrated or giving up when faced with an obstacle, they see it as a new puzzle to solve. They view challenges not as roadblocks, but as detours that might lead to an even better destination. This adaptability stems from their ability to see a situation from multiple perspectives. They can let go of the what should have been and focus on the what is, allowing them to find creative solutions. Imagine a GPS that recalculates the route instantly when you hit a patch of traffic. That's how an intelligent mind works. It doesn't complain about the traffic, it just finds another way. They are comfortable with ambiguity and uncertainty because their confidence isn't in their plan. It's in their ability to handle whatever comes next, and this makes them incredibly resilient in both their personal and professional lives. They don't just survive change, they thrive in it, using it as an opportunity to learn and grow. And this flexibility is a core trait that sets them apart from those who are more rigid in their thinking. Number 3, they are comfortable saying, "I don't know." There is a famous psychological principle known as the Dunning-Kruger effect, where people with low ability at a task tend to overestimate their ability, but the opposite is also true for the highly intelligent. The smartest people in any room are often the first to admit the limits of their own knowledge. They understand that the more you learn, the more you realize how much you don't know, and they are completely comfortable with that reality. They see, "I don't know," not as a sign of weakness, but as an honest assessment and an opportunity to learn something new. It's the starting point for curiosity, not the end point of their ego. In contrast, someone with average intelligence might feel pressured to pretend they know everything. They might bluff or give a vague answer to avoid looking ignorant, but this actually shuts down the learning process. The truly intelligent person is more interested in finding the truth than in being right. They will happily defer to an expert in the room, and they ask questions without fear of judgment. This intellectual humility is a superpower. It opens them up to new information, new perspectives, and deeper understanding, and it allows them to build a more accurate picture of the world. So, while it may seem counterintuitive, one of the clearest signs of a brilliant mind is its willingness to embrace its own ignorance. It's a profound difference in mindset that leads to lifelong growth. Number 4. They are insatiably curious. Highly intelligent people possess a childlike wonder that they never lose. They are driven by a deep intrinsic need to understand the world around them, and they are constantly asking why. Their curiosity isn't limited to their specific field or job, it extends to everything, from the science behind a rainbow to the history of a word, or the reason a particular social custom exists. They are voracious readers. They love to explore new topics on the internet, and they enjoy conversations that introduce them to ideas they've never considered before. This isn't about gathering facts to show off at a dinner party. It's a genuine passion for learning for its own sake, and it's what keeps their minds sharp, active, and constantly growing. Psychologically, this constant quest for knowledge creates a rich web of interconnected information in their brains. This allows them to see patterns and make connections that others miss, leading to more creative and innovative thinking. While others might accept the world at face value, the intelligent mind is always probing, questioning, and digging deeper. They are not passive consumers of information. They are active explorers of reality. This unquenchable thirst for knowledge is not a task for them, it's a joy, and it is perhaps the most fundamental engine of their intellectual development. Number 5. They are genuinely open-minded. There is a huge difference between politely listening to someone and being genuinely open-minded. Many people listen only with the intent to reply, waiting for their turn to state their own case. Highly intelligent people, however, can truly entertain a thought without accepting it. They listen to opposing viewpoints not to find flaws, but to genuinely understand the other person's perspective. They know that their own view of the world is incomplete, and they see every disagreement as a chance to test their own beliefs and potentially refine them. They aren't afraid of being wrong. This is incredibly difficult for most people, because our beliefs are often tied to our identity, and having them challenged can feel like a personal attack. An intelligent person can separate their identity from their ideas. This allows them to look at evidence objectively and change their mind when presented with new, compelling information, a trait that is surprisingly rare. They don't surround themselves with people who agree with them all the time. They value friends and colleagues who challenge their thinking, because they know that's where real growth happens. This intellectual openness is the bedrock of critical thinking. It's what allows them to avoid dogma and prejudice, and it makes them some of the most reasonable and insightful people you will ever meet. Number 6. They have excellent self-control. The famous marshmallow test from Stanford University showed that young children who could delay gratification and wait for a second marshmallow ended up having more successful life outcomes. And this principle holds true for adults. Highly intelligent people are masters of managing their impulses. They can resist short-term temptations in order to achieve their long-term goals, demonstrating a high degree of self-control. This isn't just about resisting a piece of cake. It's about their ability to stay focused on a difficult task instead of procrastinating, to save money for the future instead of spending it on frivolous things, and to remain calm in a heated argument instead of lashing out. Psychologically, this is tied to the executive functions of the brain, particularly the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for planning, decision-making, and moderating social behavior. They understand the concept of cause and effect on a deep level. They can clearly visualize the future consequences of their present actions, which makes it easier to make the wise choice, even when it's the harder choice. While others are driven by immediate feelings and desires, the intelligent person is guided by their future goals and their core values, and this gives them a powerful sense of direction and purpose. This ability to be the master of their own mind, rather than a slave to their impulses, is a quiet but incredibly powerful trait that paves the way for their success in all areas of life. Number 7. They possess a witty and unusual sense of humor. Humor is not just about telling pre-rehearsed jokes. Creating and appreciating genuine wit, especially dark or abstract humor, requires a high level of cognitive and emotional intelligence. Highly intelligent people often have a very sharp, quick, and sometimes quirky sense of humor. They can see absurd connections between unrelated things, and they excel at wordplay and irony. This is because crafting a witty remark requires the brain to quickly process a situation, see it from multiple angles, understand social context, and deliver a surprising and delightful punchline, all in a split second. Studies have shown a strong correlation between high scores on intelligence tests and the ability to appreciate and create humor, particularly when it comes to understanding complex satire or dark comedy. Their humor can also be self-deprecating. They are often confident enough to poke fun at their own flaws and mistakes, which is a sign of both humility and high self-awareness. They don't just laugh at the obvious. They laugh at the subtext, the irony, and the strange paradoxes of life, which is a reflection of their ability to see the world with more depth and nuance. So, if you know someone whose jokes often fly over other people's heads, or who has a dark and clever wit, you might just be in the presence of a highly intelligent mind at play. Number 8, they are highly empathetic. For a long time, intelligence was seen as a cold, purely logical ability, but modern psychology recognizes that emotional intelligence is a crucial component of overall brilliance, and empathy is at its core. Highly intelligent people are often extremely attuned to the thoughts and feelings of others. They have a strong ability to put themselves in someone else's shoes and understand their experience from the inside out. This isn't about being nice or sentimental. It's a form of data processing. They are keen observers of body language, tone of voice, and subtle social cues, which gives them a much deeper understanding of a situation. Their curiosity extends to people. They are genuinely interested in what makes others tick, what they are passionate about, and what they are struggling with. This makes them excellent listeners and trusted confidants. This empathy allows them to navigate complex social dynamics with ease. They know how to communicate effectively with different types of people, and they can often mediate conflicts because they can see and validate multiple points of view. While someone with purely logical intelligence might solve a technical problem, the empathetically intelligent person can solve a people problem, which is often far more complex and important. This ability to connect with and understand others is not a soft skill. It is a form of advanced intelligence that allows them to build strong relationships and have a positive impact on the world around them. Number 9, they observe more than they speak. In a world where everyone is fighting to be heard, highly intelligent people are often the quietest ones in the room. They have learned that you don't learn anything while you're talking. They are information sponges, constantly observing their surroundings, watching how people interact, and listening intently to the conversations happening around them. They are gathering data. This reserved nature can sometimes be mistaken for shyness or disinterest, but it's actually the opposite. They are so interested that they prefer to absorb as much information as possible before forming an opinion or speaking. When they do speak, their words are often concise, thoughtful, and highly impactful, because their statements are not based on a knee-jerk reaction, but on a wealth of carefully processed observations. They notice the small details that others miss, the hesitation in someone's voice, the way a room's energy shifts when a certain person enters, or the subtle pattern in a series of events. This observational skill is directly linked to their curiosity and open-mindedness. They are not trying to impose their view on the world, they are trying to understand the world as it truly is. So, the next time you're in a group setting, pay attention to the quiet observer. They may not be the loudest person, but there's a good chance they are the most intelligent. Number 10. They talk to themselves. This might sound strange, but talking to yourself, either internally in a rich monologue or even out loud, is actually a sign of higher-level thinking. Highly intelligent people often use self-talk as a tool to organize their thoughts, work through complex problems, and regulate their emotions. It's like having a built-in sounding board. When you verbalize a problem, you are forced to structure it in a more logical way, which can often illuminate the solution. It's a process known as self-explanation, and it's a powerful learning technique. Famous thinkers like Albert Einstein were known to mutter to themselves as they worked. It helped them to clarify their thoughts and maintain focus on the intricate details of their work. This internal dialogue also helps with self-regulation. By talking themselves through a stressful situation, they can calm their nerves, evaluate their options, and make a more rational decision. So, far from being a sign of madness, talking to yourself is a sign of a busy, active, and organized mind at work. It's a form of cognitive self-coaching. It's a private and powerful habit that allows them to process the world with greater depth and control, solidifying their thoughts and preparing them for action. Conclusion music starts to fade in. So, from embracing solitude to talking to themselves, we've explored 10 subtle but profound ways that highly intelligent people navigate the world differently. Intelligence is clearly so much more than just what you know. It's about how you think, how you adapt, and how you interact with others and with yourself. And the great news is that many of these are not fixed traits, but skills you can cultivate. You can choose to be more curious, to listen more openly, and to be more comfortable with the things you don't know. And by doing so, you are not just acting more intelligently, you are becoming more intelligent. If this video gave you a new perspective, please give it a like and subscribe for more deep dives into the psychology of everyday life. And let us know in the comments which of these 10 habits resonated with you the most.